Hello friends, welcome back again to my channel Self-Learning Videos guys. Today in this video we are going to know the summary of the most famous book Think and Grow Rich written by Napoleon Hill. Why this book matters is that Napoleon Hill, for writing this book, he himself interviewed 500 wealthy and successful people. This book is considered as a Bible for successful entrepreneurs. In this book, Napoleon Hill incites the 13 common habits of the successful people. Friends, now let's know about these 13 common habits of the successful people. First common habit which Napoleon Hill says is that one should have a burning desire to win and achieve our dream, and for this he gives the example of Thomas Alva Edison, who failed 10,000 times but never gave up his desire to invent the bulb until he achieved his goal. Second common habit which Napoleon Hill says is that one should have faith on ourselves, and after that we should outline a plan to turn your desire into action. He further says that you must precisely define your goal, outline the steps to make it happen, and immediately put your plan in action. And for this he gives the example of Henry Ford. He says that Henry Ford encountered setbacks at many stages in his career, but each time he devised a plan to overcome them. Third common habit which Napoleon Hill says is that one should convince one's own subconscious mind first so that our success is inevitable, and for this he further says to use the technique of autosuggestion, to develop unwavering self-confidence for influencing our behavior, and to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Fourth common habit which Napoleon Hill says is knowledge. For this he says that knowledge is power only when organized into a plan towards a specific goal. He further says that accumulating general knowledge does not contribute to your ability to create wealth. And for this he quotes an example of Henry Ford by saying that he achieved success without even having a high school education. Fifth common habit which Napoleon Hill says is imagination, and for this he says that creative and synthetic imagination will help you turn ideas into reality. He says that successful people use creative imagination to come up with new ideas and synthetic imagination to transform old ideas into new interpretations. And for this he quotes an example of Sony, and he says that creative thinkers at Sony have repackaged the dictaphone into the hugely successful portable music player, the Walkman. Fifth common habit which Napoleon Hill says is self-awareness, and for this he says that self-awareness will increase our probability of success. He says to audit our behavior and attitudes to identify weaknesses that we can improve. And for this he further says to ask ourselves some questions about our progress by ourselves, and he further says to ask the same questions about ourselves to a trusted friend, and he says to compare both the answers are same or not. Sixth common habit which Napoleon Hill says is decision making. He says to make decisions quickly and change them slowly, and for this he says that people who make decisions slowly are easily influenced by the opinions of others and they cannot think for themselves. And for this he quotes an example by saying that Henry Ford ignored pressure from other people to stop producing the Model T, which later became one of the most successful car models of all time. Sixth common habit which Napoleon Hill says is to create a mastermind group to help achieve your dreams. He says that there will be a synergy when people come together to form a cooperative alliance, and for this he quotes an example by saying that the ideas that two or more creative minds can produce is greater than what can be achieved individually. The seventh common habit which Napoleon Hill says is to be persistent and be determined in achieving our goals, and for this he says that all successful people are always persistent, stubborn and determined while in achieving their goals. The eighth common habit which Napoleon Hill says is about transmutation, and for this he says to practice meditation so that our thoughts can turn into reality. The ninth common habit which Napoleon Hill talks is about planning. He says to create a plan to achieve your major definite purpose. He further says that when riches take the place of poverty, the change is usually brought about through well-conceived and carefully executed plans. Poverty needs no plan. It needs no one to aid it because it is bold and ruthless. Anybody can wish for riches, and most people do, but only a few know that a definite plan plus a burning desire for wealth are the only dependable means of accumulating it. The most practical of all methods for controlling the mind is the habit of keeping it busy with a definite purpose, backed by a definite plan. The 10th common habit which Napoleon Hill talks is about the broadcasting and receiving station for thought, that is, he talking about our brain. He further says that every human brain is both a broadcasting and receiving station for the vibration of thought. The subconscious mind is the sending station of the brain, through which vibrations of thought are broadcast. The creative imagination is the receiving set through which the vibrations of thought are picked up from the ether. When stimulated, stepped up, to a high rate of vibration, the mind becomes more receptive to the vibration of thought. This stepping up takes place through positive or negative emotions. Vibrations of an exceedingly high rate are the only vibrations picked up and carried by the ether from one brain to another. The 11th common habit which Napoleon Hill mentioned is about the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. He further talks about the principle of autosuggestion, which communicates our desires directly to the subconscious mind in a spirit of unshakable faith. He also adds that through routine repetition of our conscious thoughts and desires to ourselves, we can regain absolute control over the material which reaches our subconscious mind, exercising control over our decisions, feelings, and actions. The 12th common habit which Napoleon Hill mentioned in his book is about persistence. He says that the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. He also adds that because of the lack of persistence in ourselves, is one of the major causes of failure. And at last, the 13th common habit which Napoleon Hill say is about the sixth sense. He says that the door to the temple of wisdom. He also adds that the understanding of the sixth sense comes only by meditation, through mind development from within. And once you've mastered the sixth sense, you will be able to receive warnings about impending dangers in time to avoid them, and get notified of opportunities in time to embrace them. Remember, Think and Grow Rich book message is simple. You reap what you think, and you alone are the master of your thoughts. For those of us curious for more, Think and Grow Rich is an Atlantis of insight based on a lifetime of research and study. Finally, thanks for watching this video, and if you like it, please subscribe to my channel Self-Learning Videos for more like these, and stay blessed.